About 3 more minutes, it looks like.
Hi, Reese.
Hey. We are, what time is it? 5. I think I have 5:45 on the dot. Should we get this party started?
Let's do it.
All right, so I guess we just have to call to order, and then Debbie, do you normally do roll call?
I do.
Okay.
All right. Chair Reese Adams,
Present.
Clarice Ambler,
Here.
David Carroll,
Here.
Martin Gilmore,
Here.
Julie Parker,
Here.
Councilmember Cheryl Wink,
Here.
and let me see if we've got anybody else that excused. We have Mark Hessling and Vice Chair Leah Beth Cole. Staff, we have Director Underhill, Library and Cultural Arts Manager Mark Mullis, and Community Relations Coordinator Tony Arnoldy. Did I get everyone?
Yes, I think so.
Thank you.
I was looking to see, I don't think our new member Kyle made it. All right. So I guess the next order of business is the approval of the minutes. Does anybody want to approve those? We had, I think that last one, we had quite a big meeting. The wayfinding, placemaking, right?
I move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, recognition of public comment.
Reese, do you want to take a vote on that with your
Oh
second?
yeah, good call. Let's take a vote on that, shall we? All in favor or opposed? I guess all in favor.
I
Any opposed? All right. So we have a new alternate member, Kyle Conrad. I think she was just, is she on?
It's
Yep.
fine. Yeah.
Hi. Sorry, it took me a
Oh,
minute
hey,
to get
Kyle.
on.
Hey, I just wanted to welcome you. Do you want to maybe quickly just introduce yourself to the group?
Yeah, so my name's Kyle Conrad, and I've lived in Inglewood for about 5 years. I teach for CU Succeeds. So during the day, I teach to students, and I'm really interested in art and culture. And I just am excited to get started and hopefully help Inglewood with some art projects.
Great. Thank you. Welcome. Do we have any other public comments at this point?
We do not.
Okay. So moving on to the new business, it looks like Director Underhill, I don't know if you have oh, yep, there we go. Something to show up on your screen, but kind of just going over how the 1% for the arts budget works, especially for kind of newbies like myself, Kyle. So we have a better understanding of, how the funds are apportioned, when they're apportioned, and then maybe just kind of a little bit of clarity around that. So I'll let you take it from here.
Perfect, thank you. So Debbie helped put this all together. It shows the appropriations going back 6 years. So you can see each year how much money was given out of the 1% for the arts. And typically annually, you'll see that deposit go in January or early February into the bank account. So what Debbie put together here is you can see the balance we had in November before we did all the 2 restorations of the coneflowers and the red wedges, which both look good if you haven't seen them. And we spent about $10,000, $11,000 on that. So after that appropriation was spent, what we're left with is $85,680. And ultimately, the 1% comes from capital improvement projects. So annually, the city does X number of projects. It varies every single year depending on what's in the capital improvement fund. And each of those projects dedicates 1%. So if it's $1 million project, you get $1,000 off of that project. So like we have the park restoration projects that are happening next year. There's some other projects going on throughout the city. We actually have quite a few projects happening. So again, you'll get $11,000 to put towards restoration, programs, events, new art pieces, whatever this commission decides to do with it.
Okay.
And so here's all the expenditures going back to 2016 of what was the money spent for over the years. And this just kind of gives you an idea annually what the commission has committed to and accomplished. Obviously, the last year we didn't do any events, so really it was just a restoration that occurred. But we're anticipating events coming back this year and being able to participate in some. And so I know in the November, I think it was the November meeting, you guys talked about setting the budget and allocating X amount of dollars for different projects you want to work on. And so that just kind of set the framework for this year.
Director Underhill,
Yes.
shouldn't there be a line item for the money spent on the puppet show?
That actually came out of the communications budget. That was not paid out of the Cultural Arts Commission.
That's right, you got 21,000 from the city. Oh, sorry, forget it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So any questions on this? It's fairly simple. It's nice we have this coming in to the Cultural Arts Commission every year. It's nice as council saw that years ago to make that decision. So you'll have funding going forward every year whether you spend it all in one year or do what we've been doing and just budgeting out for special events and projects, whatever it may be. So you always have a little bit of a balance there.
Shouldn't, David here, shouldn't there be an expenditure in 2020 for the crosswalk as well?
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that
Yeah.
Debbie,
also,
that,
that would have been a department transfer as opposed to an invoice, I believe. Because I
okay,
think Public Works paid for it, but
right.
then we were going to transfer the money to their account.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. We'll have to follow up
That
on that
might be
one.
another
I'll
one
follow
on
up
there.
with Public Works if you want me to, Christina.
Is this something like, Debbie, did you put this together just for us tonight? Or is this something that's kind of a rolling tally that can sort of be pulled at any point as finances change?
You know, this information was provided to me from accounting.
Okay.
We can provide her a monthly report. It's going to be probably like a month behind because we need to wait for the figures to get posted.
Right.
So, and that usually doesn't get posted till maybe mid-month.
Okay.
Cultural arts being beginning of the month, but yeah, we can provide a report to you guys.
I think it's just helpful for me from just transparency to see what we've got and if there's any, make sure that everything's accounted for, obviously, and just better understand how the finances flow. Any other questions on this from the group? Great. Thank you, Director Underhill. I appreciate it.
Sure.
All right. So I think that wraps up the new business. Old business. Martin, do you have anything from the conservation standpoint that you'd like to go over?
We haven't really done anything since because all those other restorations happened kind of at the end of the year, in hopes that we were going to be able to access some of the money from the city administrator. Is that who was going to do it? And anyway, that didn't end up happening, and it came out of our budget. So usually in the past when we've done these projects, as David mentioned last month, that we would vote on what projects to do going forward. So the only reason that we didn't do that was because I thought the money was coming from somewhere else, and I thought it was use it or lose it. So looking at what we have right now, like if we were just moving down the list from the art restoration that was, or the art assessment that was done, if we just move down the list, the next things that are most important. Oh, wait a second. Did the Broken T golf course one, that got done, right? Okay, I forgot to check that off. The Buccaneer, that one didn't get done. Okay, so that's the next one on the list. It says that it has a high treatment priority, and this is in that assessment that they gave us. It's $450 to get that one done, and also it's at Pirates Cove inside the gate. Is that accessible? Could people see that?
Yeah, no, David, I did think that one got done.
Oh, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
All
We
right.
could follow up with Leah Beth. Okay.
Okay.
That might have been within the original cleaning
Yeah.
because it was so low.
They
Okay.
did Promenade and Buccaneer.
Oh, they did
Okay.
Promenade too.
They did, yeah.
Okay. Beth and I didn't get that far to talk about what. Okay, so moving down, the next one, which is a big one or a small one, are the bike racks here in Englewood, because we can do them independently, like we can do some here and some there, or we can do them all at once. Individually, they're $690 each was what we were quoted when this was done, or if we do them all together, it was $13,805, in which case we'd have to get some multiple bids if we were to do the whole thing all at once. The assessment doesn't say that they're a high priority, but they're a medium priority on the assessment. So we could do that one, and then the one after that is the potted flowers.
Ooh,
Those, I
which one
believe,
is, yeah, go ahead.
I believe those have been done as well, Martin.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
remember he was doing it?
I think we went through, we cleaned up some of the graffiti
Yeah.
and took off the stickers and that, but that might be something to check with Lee about as well.
Okay. Sorry. I'll
Yeah,
check.
that's
with
all right.
her
No,
on
that's all
those
right.
things.
Have we gotten all the high priority ones done?
Yeah, all the high priority ones are done then.
Oh, nice.
Because we've done those others. So now we're kind of on to our medium priority stuff, which the biggest ticket item on that then is the bike racks, because there are however many of them. And I'm looking here at what we have, because moving past that, you have stuff, the library rotunda, Prometheus and the library rotunda, which is $450. The rest of it's all low priority after the bike racks. So I think this is the year to get the bike racks done. I think we probably have the money, and I don't know what else we have planned to do. So, but I think if we were going to do it, this item has been around for a long time, and we know that we've had to do it. And especially if they're going to try to do this city, well, I guess that's the question. If are the bike racks going to stay if they're doing the what was the plan that we talked about last time?
We don't know with the wayfinding and placemaking, Martin.
Okay.
We don't have those finer details yet. Council chose one of the designs on Monday, and
Okay.
then finer details of implementation will come out. So that's a great question you asked.
And is that going to be a while before that happens, or like?
I would imagine by the time we know what'll happen to the bike racks. Yeah, what I can tell you is, I can have someone ask Chris Hargis to reach out to you, Martin, so that he can share, because at least you'll know the color scheme. I think obviously we're not going to remove the bike racks, but at least you can paint them close to the family, if not directly within the family of color that's going to represent the rest of what's going to be built. How about that?
Yeah, that's good. Because if they're not going to fit in the theme,
Right.
And they're good, and
That'll
that leads us to a whole lot of other conversations.
Yeah, they'll be okay. I think it's just no matter what color. I think the color that exists won't work at all. I know that.
And since they're a medium priority, maybe we want to coordinate that with when all that other wayfinding stuff is. I don't know.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll put Chris in touch with you.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thanks.
That's my update.
Martin, how many bike racks were there?
18-ish.
It says the condition of 20 bike racks.
And they were $650 a piece.
$690.
90. So that gives us what is that, close to 690? 90 times 20. That's 13,800 total. And if we take 25% of what's in the budget right now, which is what the guidelines say we would use for conservation, we would have $21,420 available for conservation. So if you followed all those, you would have your money to.
Yep.
Yeah.
If as you talk to Chris and stuff,
Okay.
that becomes a priority.
21. Sorry, say that number again. 21,000.
21,420 is what would be allocated to conservation out of the current budget.
Great.
And that would be, we would have that expenditure for 2021, Swedish horses, which I don't have the final figure in front of me, but I could probably pull it up. But then also, I don't know about the block party or other initiatives. I know it's probably early to talk whether or not the block party will happen, but gotta have an eye on the prize, I guess.
So that leaves us with, that would leave us with $64,260. And if
Mhm.
you wanted, Reese, I could put together what has been discussed and present at the next, just kind of what that breakdown of what we thought we might do.
Yep.
If that would be helpful, I could do that.
Yep, that would be helpful. Thank you. I think that, yeah, that'll be a good framework for 2021.
We can use some of those numbers that are already been discussed, and if those aren't real numbers anymore, we can obviously adjust, but.
Yeah, that sounds good. How much, I meant to note this when Director Underhill had the 2019 figures up, but do you recall how much was spent on the block party?
So we always budgeted $100, or I'm sorry, $1,000
Yeah.
for the various
Oh, yeah.
artists.
Mm-hmm.
So that artist that we got in 2019 was a professional chalk artist from what's the big chalk festival they do downtown Denver? The Larimer
Oh,
Chalk
yeah.
Festival.
Yeah.
So we grabbed one of them, and he did a really nice rendition of Van Gogh's Lilies.
Cool.
And then the previous year we had Grace Nell. That was only $400. She was not necessarily a professional chalk artist, though she was a professional artist. And she did this very long dragon image that went the whole set, and was and I think, to the credit of her and to the credit of the event, she allowed little kids to help her color it in. And
Mhm.
that was pretty amazing. We had kids all over coloring in tails and heads and feet and stuff. It
Cool.
didn't, it didn't come out, it didn't look as professional as the Van Gogh lilies, but I think the effect for the block party was considered. And then the year before that, Leah Beth and that was the first year, Leah Beth and one of our other, now I forget his name. They did it themselves. They just put a stencil. So that was kind of the start of it. They did a stencil. Everybody thought that was great. So then we thought, why don't we employ artists to help them? And then that's how those came about.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, $1,000 negligible.
So you could do a smaller, or again, get another professional chalk artist.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, great. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate it. Oh, Swedish horse project update. So the horses are currently corralled at one of the at a building at the golf course, I believe, and we've arranged with AMPA to in the city to transport those horses on this month on the 14th for their initial coding. And AMPA estimates that'll be a couple of weeks, and then we'll transport them back. But in the meantime, had a call today with the digital and marketing communications group at the city, starting to work on what the communications piece looks like for the city for artist selection. So David, one of the things that's on my to-do list is to touch base with you regarding application content, since you worked on the ones for the other projects, just to make sure we're kind of keeping in step. And then also have, whether it's social media, some of the print advertisements, working on kind of a story. So from the Swedish horses have, quite a history of being at Swedish, and then just themselves kind of have a Swedish background. So kind of working on the story and what that looks like to present to the community. And then hopefully we're targeting to have applications back by our March meeting, so that I'm hopeful that we can maybe vote on them. I'm hoping that there's a really big turnout. We're going to have so many to choose from. So in a similar fashion, perhaps to like the way that we selected the pieces of art from the students for the calendar, where we had several to choose from, and you can kind of pick your top however many. So we'll take a look at, at that once it kind of comes to fruition. Probably we'll know more in our next meeting, but yeah, things are kind of trucking along there. Yeah, any questions on the Swedish horses? All right. Okay, so moving on to staff's choice. Director Underhill, anything on your end?
No, I think you're all on the right track. You've got some money and projects in mind. So I think this is going to be a better year than last in accomplishing some goals. So I just want to wish everybody Happy New Year, and I'm glad to see you all back.
Thank you. Mark, anything on your end?
No, nothing really. Just wanted to say thanks for joining us for that meeting today to talk about the horses project with communications, and we'll just try to make sure that keeps moving forward. If you need anything from me, I'm always happy. I'm always available and happy to help. Keep things pushing forward.
Thank you. I mean, they've been sitting for so long. We might as well release them from the stable.
Yeah, communications seems excited about it, so I think it's going to go great. Yeah.
Good. Council Member Wink, are you still on? Been trying to scroll through and I can't tell. No.
There is nothing, no update from me.
Great. Tony.
Hi, sorry, I'm working with a new system and I can't get my camera to work, so I hope you can all hear me okay. I just am happy to be here again. I just wanted to come back now that I am officially event supervisor is my title now. And I'm already starting to think about what we can do for 2021. And I would love for cultural arts to be a part of every event that we do. Our city is full of art, and while we're celebrating Inglewood, I want to celebrate that too. So of course the block party and any other crazy events that we can come up with, or Christina will let me get away with. So I'm really excited and can't wait to maybe join you guys and meet you all in person, and maybe bring some of these ideas to you. One of the things that I mentioned to Christina briefly, and I'm happy that David's here because I need him to school me a little bit, but I wasn't sure if you guys did any type of fundraising or just didn't have a clear understanding of where your funding came from. But my thought was, if possibly at one of these events, if the Cultural Arts Commission wanted to do a beer garden of some sort, kind of like the chamber has, the chamber kind of has had the market on the block party for sure, but we are going to have a lot more events. And so I'm hoping that there'll be a lot more opportunities for our awesome boards and commissions to maybe tap into that and use that as a fundraiser. So just food for thought on that. And if you guys have any ideas that I haven't thought of, which are I'm sure a lot, just let me know, and I would love to discuss them with you and see how we can make them happen. I'm super excited to see all of the cool things that you guys are doing, and Happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. We're happy to have you. That's exciting. Debbie, anything on your end?
I do not have anything. Thank you.
Great. Commissioner's choice. I don't have much more. Do you normally go around the room, David? Is that what you've done in the past? Okay, great. Since you're nodding, David, would you like to start the, do you have anything on your end?
Yep, thank you. I just wanted to, I guess I had one question that I didn't get to ask when we were talking about the conservation as well. Is there any opportunity, not necessarily, I don't know, just to share those projects maybe in the Inglewood magazine or something, just to let people know that those items are being conserved? I don't know if that's Christina or who would answer that. I know we've never done that in the past, so we've done these projects, but I don't think the community knows that not only do we have this nice work of art, but we're actually trying to make sure it stays around for generations to come.
Yeah, that's definitely something we can do. And if we're doing a story on the Swedish horses, maybe we kind of combine that into, and this is the other items that we've conserved and
Yeah.
implemented or whatever. So that can definitely happen here. Probably.
That'd be great, because we've never mentioned it. I think in a public forum, we've always talked about it amongst ourselves, and I think the people that are close to it understand that. The other thing I wanted to mention, I attended today the Colorado Legislative Art Caucus, and it was an attempt to talk to our state legislative leaders and maybe convince, maybe share a little bit how important the arts are. We did have a presentation by Michael Seaman from Colorado State University, and I think he co-partners with Colorado Creative Industries. But he talked about a larger study that they had done just simply between April and July of the arts, and how important it is, that sector is to our economy. But I just thought I'd share a couple of stats that he indicated. He said, due to the COVID, and as we all know, and Martin probably can attest to that more than any, performers and artists probably have not been able to get out and do any of their work moving forward, that the state has most likely lost $2.6 billion in tax revenue. They shared that, of course, to indicate how important that is. But of all the arts, and they classify creatives as not only what you might consider more typical forms of artists in actors and dancers and visual artists and musicians, but they break up the group within graphic designers, software engineers, anybody that kind of uses their brain in a creative way is part of the larger subset of the creative sector. But they did mention, and I thought it was important for this group to know, of all the groups, the group that it was hardest hit with 50% job loss and 30% of the sales revenue loss of that 2.6 billion, 30% of this comes from live music, live theater, dance, and visual arts. So even people like Tim and their museum most likely took the largest hit. So as we move forward, I suppose if there's anything that we can do to help that group of artists within our own community, it'd probably be, and that was really the discussion on that time. They were all made a big plea about why it's important, but also how to be helpful. So that is all I have. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Kyle is our new member. Anything on your end?
Sorry. Sorry. I'm just learning tonight, so just happy to be here and hear what's going on.
Great. Clarice?
No, nothing from me.
Julie?
Kind of a quiet start to the new year, but that's not a bad thing. Not much going on, thanks.
Yeah. And Martin?
I have a couple things. Just one is a question that I'm not sure anybody can ask, but can answer, but I'm gonna ask it. Does anybody know if the CCI conference is going on this year, like via Zoom? David, do you know?
I believe it is. They talked about it was going to go on, but it was most likely going to go on virtually.
Okay.
So
I did that like 2 years ago in 2018, and it was really good. And I think we should at least I was delegated money from the commission to go to that, and I think that some of the newer members should maybe sign up for that if they can. And maybe we should give some money to that, but that's something we could talk about next meeting. I just thought about that while we were discussing when David brought up CCI. Sorry, not the appropriate place necessarily to mention that maybe, but and then me personally, I have a record that I'm releasing at the end of the month into the oblivion of the pandemic. No shows, but here comes the record. So yeah, that's if you want to know more about it, go to my website.
Great. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Out of curiosity, when is CCI?
It was in May when I went, so I'm guessing it's
Okay.
probably the same.
And Reese, we've typically, there's a, I don't know if that still exists, Debbie or Christina, but there was an administrative amount that we were given every year to, and that's what we pulled that out of to, I think Martin and another member at the time went to Greeley.
Yeah.
Martin had ties up there already, so it was easy sale for him.
Yeah.
And then the other event we went to was it was Leah Beth and myself, and it was here in Denver at DU. So no travel, no nothing, just entrance fees. And that was a larger placemaking conference, and then we used some of those tactics as we moved forward as well. So
is that one going on still too? Placemaking.
It is, but it's in a other city. I mean, other cities. So we just got lucky that year because it was in Denver and they were doing it at DU. I think I believe this year I don't know,
But I'm sure it's virtual. I wonder if we can.
It might be virtual as well, so that might be an interesting.
Maybe we can access that. I think that was a really helpful thing for me to get my feet on the ground about what's going on in these organizations and what the Colorado arts development stuff looks like. So,
and one thing that we heard a lot when we were there, and maybe Martin as well, when you guys were there, is there's not a lot of people from Inglewood represented at these conferences, and so I think it was the first time Martin and Jay, it was Jay, right, Martin?
Yep.
Went to that and represented Inglewood, and so I think as well that seemed to be helpful to say, hey, we want to be players in this game.
Is it the Creative Industry Summit? Is that the one?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, it looks like it's going to be September 15th to 17th in 2021 in Steamboat Springs.
Okay, so they're doing it live.
That's just what's on the website now, but
okay, I didn't. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Anything else from the group? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Thank you all.
Thanks, Reese.
Have a good one.
Great job.
Good night.
Thanks. Bye.
good
Bye, guys.
job.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
Bye.